guys, we're Ian and Anna, and in today's video, we're gonna be sharing with you the top things to do in Porto, which was recently voted one of the best places to visit in all of Europe. And if you can't tell, it's totally living up to the hype. So let's just jump right into the video.
First thing we're doing in Porto is heading on a 3-hour food tour with some locals, Telmo and Miguel. And for breakfast, we're starting out with the famous Pastel de Nata.
The custard tart, or Pastel de Nata in Portuguese, was actually born in Lisbon, in a place called Belém. There's a bakery that has the rights to the name Pastel de Belém. So this is the only place where you can name it Pastel de Belém. All other bakeries that do this in Portugal, and there are a lot of them, they can only call it Pastel de Nata. Let me tell you that these are very addictive, so be careful.
It's so good, and I love the cinnamon on it. Have you tried the cinnamon?
No, is it good?
I love cinnamon.
I mean, the custard filling inside is ridiculously good.
Pastel de Nata was created when all religious orders were cast away. So the monks, they lost their monasteries. They started to do this little custard tarts to gain a living, basically, to get some income so they wouldn't starve to death. Nowadays, this is basically the breakfast of most Portuguese people.
So this is exactly why I like to start every place with a food tour, because we get the best recommendations. I know, thanks, Ann. This is gonna be my morning ritual from now on, just like the locals do. It is so flaky and perfect inside. Not too sweet, which I love.
Full disclosure, Ian and I try our best to not be ignorant Americans when we visit places, but I think this is the first time I felt like, oh, I should have looked this up. We really thought Portuguese and Spanish were very similar languages, so I've been saying gracias. That's not thank you. How do you say thank you?
Obrigado. If you're a male, obrigado. If you're a female, obrigada.
Cheers to drinking wine in the morning with some coffee. Thank you, Telmo and
You're
Miguel.
welcome, yeah. Not every Portuguese drink in the morning, okay? This is a very special occasion.
You probably saw in our last video, we had this sparkling wine at this amazing restaurant. We were like, wow, it's so good. It's a thing here. It's called green wine.
Also, if you missed our only national park in Portugal video, you can click right up here. It's amazing up north. You definitely want to go on some hiking, maybe take some day trips from Porto, because it's only about an hour and a half away.
This is pastel de bacalhau. It's roughly translated to English to codfish cake. So this is done with codfish, potatoes, a little bit of garlic and onions, and they mash it all together and it looks beautiful like this. This is risol de carnes, meat empanada. So it's mashed meat inside this little dough. We do this here in Portugal mostly like an appetizer. We were just in São Bento train station. This train station opened to the public in 1916. It has a lot of amazing tiles that you will see. Each wall of tiles actually tells a different story. Some of them talk about tournaments that were held. Some of them talk about the harvest, the crops. The navigation era, Portugal was very well known for its navigators. We discovered a lot of countries. We actually owned like half of the world during a certain point in history.
What the French call charcuterie, what is this name in Portuguese?
Enchidos.
Enchidos.
This is goat cheese. This is pumpkin jam, so you can dip the little toasts on the pumpkin jam. We call this chourição in Portuguese. It's like chorizo in Spanish. This is prosciutto, but the Portuguese version of it, presunto, we call it.
Second glass of wine of the day.
What's been your favorite dish so far?
The breakfast,
Oh yeah,
cream
the
pie.
custard tart.
I like the pork sandwich we just had.
The pork sandwich
when we get
really
yelled
good.
at.
I like
That's my
everything.
favorite as well.
To start, Porto wine is a sweet wine. They do the Porto wine with the same grapes like a normal wine. The normal wines, they stay in fermentation like 4 or 5 weeks. The ports, only 3 days. Because of this, a lot of sugar and a lot of alcohol. After these 3 days, they add brandy with more 70% alcohol. Because of this, we have a final product with 20% of alcohol.
First time trying port wine in Porto. Cheers. Wow, it is really sweet.
It tastes like brandy.
We're going on a day tour to the Douro Valley, which is the center of port wine and where they produce it.
Fun fact, I was actually trying to go a whole year without drinking. I went 3 months and all my friends were like, you're gonna try to not drink in Europe? There's no way. I was like, you know me, I'm so disciplined.
It's impossible.
It literally lasted only 3 months.
Yeah.
Like one of these years, maybe when I'm pregnant, I'll try a whole year of not drinking.
All I know is when I'm in Europe, I already know I'm gonna be drinking lots of alcohol,
It's all
especially
about
wine.
living.
Yeah, living.
This is where we ended our tour next to the beautiful river, and we just want to say thank you to Telmo and Miguel for an amazing time today. The food was excellent, and if you guys want to do the same tour as us, as always, there will be a link in the description below this video. I'm pleasantly surprised by Portuguese food. I don't think I've ever had it until I came to Portugal. It's so underrated. Why don't we have more Portuguese restaurants in the US? Come on, guys, figure it out. And Serbian food. We need more Serbian restaurants.
Porto is a very walkable city, that's why I love it, but it's very hilly, so definitely sweating getting around here on a warm day. We're about to head up to the tallest point in the entire city, a tower with a 360-degree view.
I love that they have a rule you can't make any building taller than this one. Now we're on the top, and I didn't think it was that hard of a climb. The only annoying part is like dodging people.
For being the tallest building in Porto, it's really not that tall because it's around 76 meters, but it is an amazing viewpoint, especially seeing all the orange roofs of all the buildings, and then you can see the river from here. So I definitely say do it. It's gonna be a quick stop, about 20 minutes. If you're short on time in Porto, I definitely recommend skipping out on the tower and coming to Porto's Cathedral. This place looks like a castle and it's up on a hill, so it even has a better viewpoint than the tower. And it has the most amazing murals and tiles. This is Porto's most important building. It dates back 900 years and it's just amazing how well it's preserved. Home sweet home, we're back at the campsite with our van. If you don't know about our journey, we shipped our van all the way from the US over to Europe, and we're gonna try to stay over here for a year or two, just depending on how much we like it. But I just wanna talk to you guys about the campsite we're staying at. It's about a 15-minute drive into Porto. We've been taking Ubers from our campsite. This may be the cheapest campsite we'll stay at the entire trip. It's about 6 to 8 euros a night, but you get hot showers, you got bathrooms, water, everything you need here, and it's only a 2-minute walk to the beach. Right over those trees, you have a beautiful sunset every night, and that's what we're gonna show you right now.
Anna, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
A little bit tired, just like you.
Beach is so pretty. You're gonna love it. Definitely got a bit nippy.
A bit nippy. I mean, this is heaven.
I
We haven't-
love it.
I know, we haven't had nice weather like this in like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, it's so beautiful though, the sunset and all these rocks. I feel like this is a hidden gem.
All I've been hearing about is Portugal's beautiful beaches down south.
Yeah.
But up here in the north at Porto, you get this. I can only imagine what it's gonna be like down there. But we're gonna enjoy the sunset, pick up a meal, and go back to our van. First of all, the coolest beer cups. I mean, look at these. Such a vibe. You got some bread, butter.
We're trying francesinha. I hope I said that right.
Is this cheese over it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so this is all cheese. I'm about to get down to the steak.
Oh, damn.
There's steak and ham and cheese on bread.
How is it?
It's so good. You're right, it's like comfort food. Especially that steak with the cheese. Portugal, cheers to you for delicious food, good prices, beaches, and my woman.
Yesterday you saw us having some wine on a food tour, and today we're actually in Douro Valley where they make the wine. It's really an amazing thing to do here in Porto. You kind of take a day trip. We decided to go with a tour. Of course, it's going to be linked in the description below, but we're going to do some wine tastings. I've never even been to a vineyard. You know, in the US you go to Napa Valley. This is like our first Napa Valley trip. I'm really excited. So we are at our first stop. We have a white, red, and port wine. Port wine can only be considered port wine if it was made in the Douro Valley. Anywhere else, it's not port wine. Second of all, France used to export their wine to England. They had a really good relationship, and one day that relationship fell through. So the British looked to Portugal for wine, and when the Portuguese started shipping the wine, they needed to find a way to preserve it so it wouldn't go bad on the ships. So they began adding brandy to it to preserve it, which is funny because in the US we just add a bunch of chemicals. Long story short, the English loved it. So yeah, that's the story of port wine.
The most expensive wine in this place is right here. It's from the 1800s, and the price is a whopping 4,500 euros. After eating a 3-course lunch next door with unlimited refills of wine, pretty dangerous if you ask me, we then headed on our boat for a cruise down the Douro River. lot of the tours to the Douro Valley don't include a boat ride, but this one did, and that's why we picked it.
You gotta do the boat. Anything on the water always makes life better.
Oh,
Whether
for
it's
sure.
in the water, on the water.
How do you say cheers in Portuguese?
Saúde.
Saúde.
Salud.
More wine, of
We always
course.
know cheers, and we always know thank you.
Yeah,
That's it. Obrigada.
that's a good start.
Salud.
Ending off the tour here at one of the oldest wineries in all of Douro. It's called Croft, and we're just taking a walk through the vineyards and seeing the barrel process. But this place is stunning. We're having 3 more port wines to end off our tour. We've had so much wine this trip. I definitely recommend coming when it's not too hot out. June, July, and August are the hottest months here, and it could get up to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now we're here in April. It's 65 and sunny, so it's a perfect day. And if you're interested in seeing the grapes on the vines, you can come in September because that's harvesting season. Right now, the grapes and even the olive trees are very tiny.
I'm loving the weather, the sunshine. It's so crazy because here in Portugal, the weather can change so rapidly. It was cloudy when we woke up and now it's beautiful out. It's very hot. Like I thought it was gonna be 65 and sunny.
Yeah, it's much hotter here than in Porto, and it's only an hour away.
The grapes that are made out of port wine are actually stomped, which is really cool, and it makes it even better because it is a slower process than, you know, a machine or whatever. There's a barrel behind us that's been here since the 1800s. It is the biggest barrel I've ever seen. Let's take a look at it. Yep, it says 1868 on this barrel here. They actually just changed the wine after 10 years.
Yeah, just look how big this thing is. So these are the small barrels over here, and then these are the bigger barrels.
Cutting in real quick to introduce the sponsor of this video, Get Your Guide. Get Your Guide is the only platform we use to book unique experiences and tours around the world. Just in Porto alone, we were able to go on a food tour with locals, take a day trip to the Douro Valley, and we even found a Harry Potter tour in Porto. Once you book, everything is there right in the app. You have a QR code, meeting locations. If you want to support Anna and I and want more travel videos just like this one, all you have to do is book your experiences through the links below this video. It's a win-win for everyone. Now back to the video.
So there's a Harry Potter tour in Porto, and of course, if you know us, we're obsessed with Harry Potter and we're gonna do the tour. Something we never knew is that J.K. Rowling was married to a Portuguese journalist, so she lived here and actually wrote some of the Harry Potter books while living in Porto.
This is how big of a fan he is of Harry Potter.
This is commitment.
Look at
After meeting our tour guide Vinny, we had a quiz on Harry Potter, and one of the coolest takeaways is that J.K. Rowling got the idea of Harry Potter while she was on a train, and her parents even met on a platform at King's Cross in London, which, as you know, is the location of the portal to the Hogwarts Express.
Anna is the Harry Potter nerd in our relationship. I started reading the books at the age of 25, so I'm kind of a fake Harry Potter fan because I love the movies and I watch them so often, but Anna really got me into the books, and I'm currently reading them now, so this tour is so fun.
Now we're at Majestic Cafe. It's been here since 1922, one of the oldest in Porto, but most importantly, one of the most beautiful. This is where J.K. Rowling wrote some of the first Harry Potter book, and we think she got inspiration from this cafe, especially the mirrors. There's a page that Vinny had us read that's describing the mirrors in the book. Also, one of my favorite things we just did was discuss our patronuses. So Ian chose a monkey, Vinny's is an eagle, I'm a turtle, and a camel. And I just want to ask you guys, what would your Patronus be?
Expecto Patronum!
This is our sorting hat ceremony. You're gonna choose 4 words.
Okay.
And then you're gonna be sorted into your house. Choose between courage, ambition, wisdom, or care.
I'm gonna go with ambition.
Ambition. You're Slytherin!
No!
Oh, yes!
I choose courage.
Courage. So you're a Gryffindor!
Another cool inspiration that J.K. Rowling got from Portugal is Portugal's dictator from the 1930s to the 60s. His name was Antonio Salazar, and as you know, one of the houses is Salazar Slytherin. It's really cool how much inspiration she got.
Anna, what happened when we did the quizzes? What happened?
You won both times, which is like, real. I just think you're better at games.
And I'm the fake Harry Potter fan.
No, you called yourself that. You've been reading the books lately.
Voldemort divided his soul in 7 pieces, right? To live forever. So now I'm gonna show you some 7 Portuguese Horcruxes, pieces of the soul of this nation that maintain the country immortal. The first one, Fado. their music. Porto wine, then codfish, Clerigos centuries telling us stories, the rooster of Barcelos from the legend, and then the cloak for the students at the university. Behind the cloak is the idea that every student should be equal. And the last one, Pastel de Nata. Oh, that's why.
He was surprising us with some later.
Thank you, Vinny. Hey. You're welcome.
Before we head over to Lello Library, which is the most beautiful library in the world, I first want to talk to you about some more inspiration J.K. Rowling got here. Right behind me is the University of Porto, and the students there actually wear capes to class. Everything is just coming together right here in Porto, a place I didn't know anything about. Now I love it.
We're at our final stop. It's considered the most beautiful bookstore in the world, and it literally looks like Hogwarts. I want to hear what you guys think about it, because this is a very known bookstore and people are obviously like, okay, well, she definitely got ideas and inspiration from it. But J.K. Rowling tweeted that she had never been inside. She wished she had visited, but it had nothing to do with Harry Potter.
I love all the different illustrations on the covers and that they're in different languages.
In the 7th book, Dumbledore leaves a book to Hermione. It's called The Tales of the Beetle and the Bard. And they have an actual version of it.
That's so cool.
They must have the Deathly Hallows in here. I decided to buy the last Harry Potter book because I lost mine in high school, so lately I've been just stopping at the 6th, so it was time to get a new one. I will never forget reading this one for the first time. I was like on my floor heaving, so it's one of my favorites. And I just wanted to read you guys the dedication because I thought it was so special. The dedication of this book is split 7 ways. To Neil, to Jessica, to David, to Kenzie, to Dee, to Anne, and to you. If you have stuck with Harry until the very end. Lastly, just real quick, it has nothing to do with Portugal, more so with Harry Potter, but the relevance of the number 7. God built Earth in 7 days and then he rested. There are so many themes in Harry Potter and a lot of literature with the number 7, starting with the number of staircases in Hogwarts. 142, you put those numbers together, 7. The Weasleys had 7 kids, there's 7 Horcruxes, there's 7 books, and the list goes on and on and on. So it's really cool just learning all these little facts. I'm really happy we did end up going with a tour because originally we were just going to visit the bookstore, but we learned so many things, not only about Portugal and Harry Potter, but just like a lot of wisdom. So if you're into that kind of stuff, definitely do that tour.
So right now we're crossing over the famous bridge, and underneath us is the river and a beautiful sunset's coming in. We're gonna go try to show you guys a secret sunset spot.
Everyone kind of goes on this bridge for sunset, or there's like a viewpoint over there. But we're gonna head this way because I saw some people on rocks and that looks a lot cooler to me.
So as you can see, there's different spots where you could sit. Anna's all the way down there, and I am up here at the tallest spot. There's other people just hanging out, taking pictures.
This is a beautiful, beautiful viewpoint, especially of the river and the bridge.
This was the perfect way to end our Porto trip. We loved it here. Can't recommend it enough.
Oh my gosh.
It really, really like blew my expectations away.
I think it was the perfect start to our entire trip, really.
Yeah, it
because
was.
Portugal is so beautiful, and I'm excited to explore the rest of this country.
Yeah, let's keep going. See you in the van.
You got what I need.